So some very bad news, guys, for David. The case with Celeste and David has been heating up for the past week. So many confusing reports, biased articles, and bad news for David. Hey guys, it's Murad Murali. Hopefully you guys are all doing well today. Daily and consistent content. Do you guys like this jumper that I just bought from Zara? I don't know what your thoughts are on this, but I kind of like it. I like the feeling. I like the way I'm digging it, but I don't know. So I just want to know your thoughts are if you think it's a bit too much, because one of my friends was like, no. Okay, so let's get into this, guys, because things aren't looking good for David at all. Initially, guys, medical examiners came out to deny, guys, that the body was frozen, which is very confused. LAPD have come out to officially dispute TMZ's story that the body of Celeste was partially frozen when it was examined. A source connected to the LA County Medical Examiner insists that Celeste's body was partially frozen when it was discovered inside a car registered to singer David. This is in contradiction to what LAPD are now saying on the record. In one document from the medical examiner, it reads the decedent was not live scanned due to water-logged fingers. The medical examiner has put a security hold on the case as the LAPD continues to investigate. So, you know, it's very confusing, because are TMZ lying here? Have they been caught in a lie once again? Or are they telling the truth and that the body was frozen? Also, waterlogged fingers, what does that even mean when it comes to Celeste? Because LAPD are stating that, well, it's a contradiction. What TMZ are stating is not true. The body is not frozen. That's not what's taken place. So what is going on here? Somebody's lying. Somebody's either causing a distraction on purpose. And because of this purposeful distraction, we're all getting these contradicting reports and we don't know what's going on with Celeste. It's just causing more of a prolonged situation here. So I don't understand why TMZ would put that out and then LAPD have come out to counteract it. Of course we would believe LAPD because they're the ones running this investigation. They're the ones that have the investigators that have gone and searched the houses and, you know, going back and forth and have announced that David is a suspect, you know, and so forth. So I don't understand why. I really don't understand why this has been some kind of lie that has been revealed. Outside of that, guys, a grand jury are hearing evidence, guys, tied to the death. So this is crazy to me that an LA County grand jury has reportedly heard evidence, guys, from prosecutors tied to the death of teenage Celeste. According to the LA Times, an LAPD detective has classified Rivers' death as a murder investigation, and the LA County District Attorney's Office has presented evidence related to the case to an investigative grand jury. LA Times sources relayed that a grand jury was in session for several days, guys, throughout mid-November, and court documents listed a GJ number, meaning a grand jury exists. GJ stands for grand jury. Several witnesses have reportedly been called before the investigative grand jury, which can recommend charges but cannot itself bring an indictment. The LA Times also cited documents showing that LAPD detectives received a ruling from a judge not to have Celeste Rivers' autopsy results made public. When reached for comment, a spokesperson for the LA District Attorney's Office explained that in accordance with long-standing office policy and California law, we are not at liberty, guys, to discuss or disclose any information about grand jury proceedings. So this is very bad news for David, for the fact that, you know, witnesses have been called. Several witnesses, guys, have been called. That's basically what they're saying, before the investigative grand jury, which can recommend charges that they are bringing for David. So, you know, they're not going to bring an indictment because they can't do that themselves. They don't have the power to do that. But they are recommending charges now that they're going to be coming out with David, especially because David is now being considered a suspect. So very important news here, guys, that David is being considered a suspect, as we know, and that a grand jury have convened, and not just once, but throughout the time of November. And they've kept this all quiet. They've not said any words to us. We don't know any information about a grand jury. Throughout November, we were like, what is going on? It's interesting because I do believe early November, late October, LAPD were making statements about him not being a suspect. So if he wasn't a suspect then, why were the grand jury convening? What were they looking at? Are there other people involved? Several witnesses have been called forward. Several, not one, not two. Several means multiple people have been called forward before the investigative grand jury. So it looks like this is why David has hired a lawyer. He knows why he's hired a lawyer, because he knows that it's going to come to this point where a jury might be involved. It's going to go to, you know, fighting a trial, criminal trial. he probably will be indicted. Some of these charges that are presented, I think that some of them will go forward and he will end up being indicted. He will end up being arrested, taken into custody, and then either bailed or not bailed. And then a grand jury will take place, I believe, later in 2026, and it will be a high profile criminal trial. That's what I think that this will be. That's where I can see this going. That is the forecast from what we've seen with previous people. And so that's why it's not good news for David. That's why he wanted to pass the home, left apparently in Texas. So a lot of information has come out over the past week and a half, and this story about the grand jury was released 2-3 days ago, and I really wanted to just sit on it to see if anything else has come out. As of right now, no, but it looks like there are other people who are also being involved as suspects. A second person is being questioned. So the LAPD are making progress, and I do feel like David's days are numbered. To be honest with you, all of the updates that we've received over the past couple of weeks are against David and put him in a very bad light. Very bad light. Whether the body was frozen or not frozen, and the autopsy results, etc., I don't feel like we need to publicly know the information of the state of body as of right now, because it is a running investigation. And now that we know that David is considered a suspect, I'm good on not hearing any information until LAPD need to release information, because it really did piss me off when they said that he wasn't a suspect. I'm like, what's going on? Clearly it was the man. All the music videos of him digging graves and etc., it clearly looked like it was him, especially with the relationship that he had. So now that they are got a grand jury, he's a suspect, I'm good on us sitting back. Wait until LAPD want to give us our conversations and, give us our updates. But the TMZ story, why they put that out there, I don't understand. Is somebody getting paid through the back end to put out specifics, specific stories for a certain reason? I don't know. Could be. It's a pretty outlandish theory, but it is also believable. I just feel like this isn't the first time that TMZ have been confused of conflicting stories. Also, why would they put out the statement that the body was frozen? Where are their connects coming from? How would they be able to get that intel that they found that the body was frozen in terms of waterlogged fingers? But then also, how would you freeze the body from Santa Barbara? That doesn't make sense to me, because then the body was buried there, digged up, brought back. So then was it frozen when it was brought back? It can't have been frozen from Santa Barbara to then, because then the body would have thawed. So that I just have more questions about the state of the body. But I just feel like we are one step closer to some kind of justice for Celeste, because somebody offed her, unalived it, and I think it definitely was David, and things will be revealed shortly, I believe, especially with a grand jury hearing and several witnesses being called forward. This is about to get very ugly for David. He knows it. He ain't leaving his house. Career gone down the drain. Tours, sponsorships, brands, everything has been severed. Probably online, lurking around. Apparently stories are saying that he's got people doing stuff for him on Reddit, on other forums, that he has online workers doing stuff for him and talking for him, bigging him up in some kind of way. None of that is going to work, guys, because the majority of pull that David has now gone down the drain. Let me know your thoughts are, guys, when it comes to this video. Do subscribe to the channel, comment down below, and give this video a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. I like this jumper. I think it's cute. I think it's nice, but probably not with this background. But yeah. Anyways, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys soon.